Hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and start on page 19 of the Ghost Ship. So make sure that you're on page 19. You can find that on the top right hand corner right there. We're gonna start at the key change. When I say key change, that just means that do moves. So do before was right here on the second line on G. But these flats, these four flats right here simply means that do is moving houses. So now do is on this second space right here. Okay, that's all that means whenever you see key change is that do moves. So since it's on the second space, we're just gonna start plugging in some solfege. If here is do, and you go down one step, that's T, and here's la. So that's the reason why it's la. Again, make sure that you are following the direction. If you wanted to go up a step, it would be re. Or if you wanted to move down because the note heads, these little dots right here are moving down, you would go down to T. And la, so, fa, mi, and so on. So right here, part 2 right here is starting on la. Part 1, again, just as a reminder, you only have to do your line. So if you're part 1, you do not have to do this bottom line. If you're part 2, just do this line. Don't worry about the top line, but I want to show both so you understand. It's on the same space. Do you see how this little black dot or this open, this half note is right here? This is also going to be la. That's la. And if you want to move down, see how the notes, the black dot has moved down, the note. So that means we're moving down in our solfege. So that's la, here so, fa. Fa is an imaginary note right here in a space, and mi on a line note. So we have mi, mi. Part 2, you are holding out la forever and ever. And part 1, you move up to la, so go ahead and write la. As you can see, I wrote the measure numbers in different ways. However way you want to do it is fine. Both of you, both parts have mi. And we're about to move to do here soon. So right here, I'm on measure 61 if you want to check in. This is measure 61. We're still on la because the note head still hasn't moved. And now all of a sudden the notes have moved up in direction. So la, we know that we're going to move up. So la, ti, do, re, and mi. It's on the mi space. Both are on the mi space. See how this note moves down one step, not a skip. Remember our steps and skip. It moves down one step. So we're going to go from our direction from mi. One step down is re. So we know that's going to be re. And here is do. See how do winds up on the second space, just like we did over here. If you want to draw that to help you out, do, mi, and so are going to be on spaces because, again, do has moved houses. Okay, so we're still on measure 62. We went from mi to re to do. This symbol right here is a rest. That means you do not sing. We'll go over that in class. Do has moved up one step, has moved on to that line, so that's going to be re. And you notice how that dot has moved down a step, back to do. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Notes are always moving. Notes are always changing. Sometimes they stay the same. Again, part 1, part 2, you kind of have the same notes right here. Here is la. If you want to check back instead of counting, you can ask yourself and see, have I already used this note? Yes, you have. La, up one step is T. Part 2, you have the same thing, la and T. We just wind it up on measure 64. If for whatever reason yours doesn't match mine on measure 19, go ahead and double check to make sure that you numbered the measures correctly. Also, just a little hint, we gave you little markers. So you could already see that some measures are written in for you. Here's 33, here's 37. So if you want to double check your work, make sure that those align, okay? Awesome, we're still back on page 19. I'm gonna come right down here. Here's do because it's on the second space, so you know that that's do. Part 2, again, same thing. You can go down, do, down a step, because moving in our direction, down, T, and la. Here in la. We just used this note. You see how it's on the second space, so you know that's going to be do again. Do. This note moves up a space. Remember direction, so it's going to be do up to re. Re. Note moves up to that half note. It's going to be mi. Again, part 2, you have mi. These low notes, these lower notes with a line across it, those are always going to be mi in this song. And in this song, it's going to be mi. So you know that both of those parts are mi. By the way, I'm using pen just so you can see it a little bit better. Typically, we use pencil. And we can move on to page 20. As you notice, guys, a lot of the same notes are repeating. A lot of the same notes are repeating. And I had some questions. You do, I'm on page 20 now, 21 now. You do have do on the second space all the way until the end. Okay, so by the end, I mean on page 23, do is still going to be on the second space. Mi is still going to be here on the third space. All right, so that was kind of the key change. Again, just a little review. When I say key change, that just means that do moved. Okay, so do is now here on the second space. If you want to look at my paper, do is right here on the second space now, and it's going to stay there and fall into place all the way until the end of the song. Alrighty.